Hey everyone, Aussie Viking here for a little small video. So I literally just played the Anthem demo and I put around 5 hours into it. Yes, it was actually quite fun and quite addicting. What can I say? The gameplay was pretty damn good. It reminded me a lot of the best bits of Andromeda, although I liked Andromeda quite a bit, but it felt like it was a evolution of Andromeda's gameplay times a couple like 5. It was fun, it was fast, I could spend hours literally flying around up and down into the water up and again and shooting things in the air. Honestly, it was great, and I swear to God though, if we don't get an upgrade in this game where you can have guns as you're flying and shooting, I don't know what's going on here. I mean, if Just Cause 3 DLC can do it, I'm pretty sure you could do it, Anthem. I know you can. I know you can. But I thoroughly enjoyed the game. It seems okay. Now, of course, there are things like downgrades in terms of the graphics and all the stuff you see on screen from the E3 demo. I'm watching the E3 demo again right now, and well, there's in the game, in the demo at least we saw, there was less foliage, less enemies, and less craziness. Now, of course, since this is a demo, who knows? Maybe in the game they'll have a lot more crazy stuff going on. At least you hope. And of course, you've got to keep that in mind. It is a demo. It isn't the full game. You had a small chunk to go around in. You could explore free roam by yourself, or 4 players going around killing stuff. It was pretty damn fun for what I experienced. I like the enemies. I like the looks of the enemies. I like this like fantasy sci-fi world. I enjoyed the visuals. I thought it was. I mean, it still looks beautiful, just unfortunately not as much as it was in E3, but it still looks pretty damn good. I like the first person perspective when you go inside your hub worlds. I like some of the characters, although you really only met a couple in this demo, but they seem pretty good and they actually had a lot of good oomph to them. Again, not as detailed as the E3, and even on, say, the Xbox One X, it didn't even look or run that well, which is interesting. Overall, for me, the demo made me want the game, but not want the game at the same time, if that makes sense. And by that I mean, I wanted it because I enjoyed it. I love the customization, the world building, the weapons, the fact that there's so much story here, the fact that it's so fantasy wise, but with a lot of sci fi. I really enjoyed my time with it. I really love flying around. I love looking for things. I love doing some really awesome missions and then getting this big bulk of weapons and stuff that you can use to upgrade and, do this, do that. Very similar to what you'd expect from, say, Borderlands or Destiny or The Division and so on. So it does, and it does all that pretty damn well. The enemies are varied. There's a fair bit of them. You can go down if you're not that careful. You've got a very good array of weapons, upgrades, and just special units and special effects, special weaponry. It all came together pretty damn well, and that's the stuff that I wanted to get the game for. But the one thing that I didn't want the game for is the always online aspect. And as a big Bioware fan, to have them go from single player RPGs that if you wanted to do multiplayer you could, to just a full blown multiplayer where you need to be online all the time, I don't know how I feel because during the game, playing it now, either their servers weren't running properly or my internet wasn't going well, but it felt bad. Enemies would disappear, the connection wasn't so well that I'd teleport over the place, I'd try to kill things but they wouldn't die. Even the frame rate didn't feel as good because of that connection with the internet. That it felt like nothing really worked well, and it really sucks because if you can't play this game when there's server problems or you've got your own internet problems, then it doesn't actually feel good as a game. I know some other games kind of have that as well, but for me, I've never really liked this always online aspect. I would have loved it if it was like, okay, everything's single player, you can play by yourself, offline, no internet connections, but if you want to go online, you can get a little bit extra. Maybe you can get the ability to have friends come in and all that, but it would have been so much better if they went single player with the multiplayer aspect. Basically, do you want to choose? Such as, so I've been playing Resident Evil 6 lately. In that, if you wanted to play offline, you could just go select offline, and that was it. If you want to play online, you select online, and you can go from there. To me, that is the superior way to do it than just always online. The servers go down, you can't play. Your internet's bad, you can't play. It doesn't really help, and it's not that fun from a gaming perspective, and even as a Bioware game and a fan of it. But it does seem interesting. The downside is as well, though, is why you can choose a male or a female. You can't have relationships. You can't have, I believe, people with you, such as it's always four-player co-op only if you have real life friends. If you don't, it's not going to be like, say, Mass Effect or Dragon Age, where it's just like you pick your people. You don't get those sort of friends to go along with you, although there are times where you can have them there in the world. They don't actually do much, which is a shame because this game looks fun. It looks interesting. It looks different, but it looks something that we're used to in a way. It's a very combination of a lot of great things that looks fantastic, but it's a mix. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, and honestly, as of now, I don't know if I'll actually want to get this game straight up day one. Maybe on a sale, maybe later on, maybe if there's free DLC, maybe if they've changed a few things. I don't know. But what I can say is if this does go well and there's a sequel involved, I think a sequel could fix a lot of these problems. But that would be like another 4 or 5 years from now, most likely next gen. So yeah, but I can definitely say with happiness that honestly, Anthem is pretty damn fun. It's just not the most perfect thing you want from EA, from BioWare. It's looks like it's going to have a few hurdles to get over, but in the end, I enjoyed it, and I mean, I played 5 hours of it, and I wanted more. So yeah. Anyway, little short video about that. Aussie Viking out. Actually, all in Valhalla. Bye.